A camping nightmare. I've always loved camping, but my last trip to the woods changed everything. My friend, Alex, and I had planned this trip for weeks, eager to spend a weekend surrounded by nature, away from the hustle and bustle of city life. We arrived at the campsite early in the day, set up our tents, and started exploring the forest. The sun was shining through the trees, casting dappled shadows on the forest floor. The birds were chirping, and a gentle breeze was blowing. Everything was perfect, and we felt invigorated by the fresh air and the beauty around us. We spent the day hiking, fishing, and exploring, and by nightfall, we were ready to settle down and cook some dinner. As we were sitting around the campfire, telling stories and roasting marshmallows, we heard a strange noise in the distance. It sounded like twigs snapping, and it was coming from deep in the forest. We both looked at each other, unsure of what to do. We knew that wild animals were common in the area, and we didn't want to take any chances. But then, the noise stopped. We shrugged it off, assuming it was just a harmless critter, and continued with our evening. As the night wore on, the woods became eerily quiet. The only sounds were the occasional crackling of the fire and the rustling of leaves in the wind. Suddenly, we heard the noise again, and this time, it was much closer. We both jumped to our feet, adrenaline pumping through our veins. Alex grabbed a flashlight, and we started shining it in the direction of the sound. That's when we saw him. A tall, dark figure was standing between the trees, watching us. We couldn't make out any details, but we knew that he wasn't friendly. He stood there still and ominous. We froze, not knowing what to do. We were completely vulnerable, with nothing to protect ourselves with. Then, as quickly as it had appeared, the figure vanished into the forest. We were left shaking and scared, unsure of what to make of what we had just seen. We huddled in our tents, trying to sleep, when every little noise made us jump. We didn't know what was out there, and we didn't know if we were safe. We barely slept that night, our minds filled with terrifying possibilities of what this man could have been up to. Why was he watching us? We knew that he was still out there. However, we stayed together, locked in arms until daybreak. As the sun rose that morning, we decided to cut our trip short and pack up our gear as quickly as possible. We didn't want to risk encountering the man again. As we were packing, we noticed that some of our supplies were missing. Our food and water supplies had been tampered with, and some of our equipment was gone. We realized that the man had been watching us for some time. We wanted to leave as soon as possible, but we also wanted to find out who, or what, had been stalking us. We searched the area around our campsite and found some footprints and broken branches. It looked like something had been hiding in the trees, watching us. As we followed the tracks deeper into the forest, we came across a small wooden cabin. It was probably there for more than 50 years. It was old and run down, with broken windows and a rickety door. We hesitated, but our curiosity got the best of us, and we cautiously approached the cabin. The door creaked open, revealing a dark and musty interior. We stepped inside, and our worst fears were confirmed. The cabin was filled with strange objects, animal carcasses, and a collection of hunting knives. It was clear that whoever lived here was not a friendly neighbor. We were in danger. As we walked deeper into the cabin, we heard a noise from outside the front door. I peered through a crack in the window and saw the same manly figure from the night before. It was him! We scrambled to find a way out, but the windows in the room we were in were too small. We could hear the man getting closer, and we knew that we were running out of time. In a desperate move, we kicked open a window, glass shattering everywhere as we climbed out, the loose shards of glass cutting us as we fled. We ran as fast as we could, our hearts pounding and our bodies trembling. As we finally made it back to the campsite, we quickly packed up our gear and fled the woods. As we looked back, We saw the man feet away from where our campsite was set up, staring at us as we got further away with a grim, menacing look on his face. To this day, we don't know who or why he was stalking us that night, or why we even entered that cabin. All we know is that we were lucky to escape after the danger we put ourselves in.